Hi everyone, welcome to Deanna Creates. So in today's video, we are going to be playing with some of the papers that I created in my last video where I shared with you how to use gelatos. So let's just get started. So here we have the papers that we made in the last video, and I'll leave the link to that video up here. And so we made a tag, we made a couple tags, and then we had this watercolor paper, and then this was just a practice one that was on a sheet that was not gessoed. So let's just start with this. So what I like to do, and which you can kind of see I've already done, is I like to use my punches with these. Now, because this one was the one that was done without gesso, you know, the color didn't move around. But once you use it like with a punch, then you don't really see that. So I really like to use them like that. So we're just going to use this butterfly one, which is one of my favorite punches that I have. And we're just going to cut out just some different butterflies on this paper. Let's see. All right, and so it makes just these really pretty little butterflies. I know they're really hard to see, but the color on them is just so pretty. Like this one really caught different ones. And so we're going to use these and we're going to jazz them up just a little bit more. But that is just one way that you can use, you know, when you're playing around and experimenting. That is just one way that you can use this. And then another thing that I like to do is I like to use my Sizzix in an embossing folder. And so this was a paper that we created. This was the non-gessoed side and this one was. And so I just cut a piece of that off and I ran it through my Sizzix with my butterfly embossing folder. And it just made, this beautiful, you know, kind of embellishment. I'm going to add this to a card here shortly. But it's just really pretty. And on this, you can use like really either side. This would be the negative side, so it's not as raised. And then this one is. But I love how it's pulling in all these different colors just on this piece. And then I did another one that I ran through with it's just raised dots. And so I ran that through, and again, I just love the color on this. So those are some more fun things that you can do with these papers to actually use in a project. And so that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's just get started with that. So the first thing that we are going to do is this tag. And I'm going to use the side that we gessoed, and we're going to make a birthday tag with that. And so I have already stamped this little stamp here, and this is one of my favorite stamps that I like to use for birthday. It's just this sweet little girl, and she's holding this massive bouquet of balloons, and I have colored her with the Prismacolor pencils, and so we're going to use her today. And this is actually what the stamp looks like. This is it from Unity Stamp Company, and I know I've mentioned that to you guys before, how much I really love their stamps. And so she's definitely a favorite. And so what we're going to do is we are going to place her onto this tag like so. And then we are also going to use some of these butterflies on here. And I pre-cut some other ones already, so we can kind of play around with these and see which ones we really like. And then the first thing that we're going to do too is we're going to kind of embellish these butterflies a little bit more. Just to give them a little bit depth of character. And of course we're going to use some distress inks around the edges of those too. So the first thing that I want to do is I have this little, it's just a little clear stamp, and it looks kind of like a script. It's really teeny tiny, but I'm going to use that on these butterflies just to give them a little, like I said, just a little something on there. So let's just go ahead and do that. Let's see which ones of these are going to look really the best on here. And again, I just did the same thing with all of these. I just used my little punch and punched them out with that, and they're really pretty. I'm gonna have some purple. It ties into her. I'm just gonna use a couple of them. All right, so I'm going to take my this little stamp here, and I'm just going to stamp these butterflies. I'm just going to use this vintage photo to ink up this little stamp a little bit. And again, I just want to give it a little bit of that texture. And then, of course, we're going to just take it and we're going to go around the edges a little bit with that vintage photo, just to make that little butterfly just stand out a little bit. You guys, I just love making these cards and tags. I know I've mentioned that before, but so now we're actually doing some, and I was reminded just how much I really, really enjoy doing this. And one tip that I'll give you if you plan on making cards or tags is, what I like to do is I like to just take my stamp, and like to get just a white piece of cardstock, and I like to just, you know, make several stamps on there and go ahead and, you know, color them so that I have them ready for my project. That way when I go to start making cards or, you know, whatever I'm going to do, then, you know, that part is already done. And one thing that I like to do too when I have people in mind that I'm making the cards for is like I will tend to use their hair color, you know. So one of my dear friends, she has beautiful blonde hair, and another of my dear friends has beautiful brown hair, and so I try to do that, you know, when I'm thinking through and when I'm coloring these. So just a little tip there. All right, and then so the next thing that we want to do, I've already prepped it, but we're going to do it just so that you can see, is we're going to do our happy birthday. And I already did these, but all we're going to do is we're going to take this happy birthday stamp that I have, and we're just going to ink it. I'm using this deep purple. This is a Ranger archival ink, but this is the, what is this, Letter It. That's used, you know, more in like lettering and card making and stuff. And so I'm just gonna stamp that. I didn't really even know they had another kind. I found this one time when I was at Tuesday Morning, and I was so excited, and I really like it. So now we're just gonna stamp this happy birthday right onto this white piece of cardstock. And it just looks great. And then I like to use my decorative scissors. These are Fiskars. This is the paper edger one, and it's just my favorite one. And then I like to just cut them out so that it has that decorative effect on it. And then I will tend to leave it as it is until I get to the project, so that if I decide that I needed to separate the happy birthday, I can do that at that time. So like I said, I already created one for this tag, and we're going to come around this one too with this purple around the edges, because the blue paper and her her dress. It all kind of has some purpley colors in there. And so now we have all of our elements that we need for our tag, and we're just going to put them together now. And I am just going to use my glue stick for this. I found I haven't had a problem using the glue stick with my cards in the past. And so I just glue it up really good. And I want to put her on here at an angle. I don't want her to be, you know, straight up and down on the card. It's kind of like the balloons are, you know, pulling her. And I'm just pressing that down really well. And so it looks like that. Isn't that cute so far? And then I'm going to take these little butterflies and I'm going to kind of bend them just a little bit. I don't want them to be, you know, like, you know, flat. I want them to have a little bit of dimension to them. So we're just going to put some glue on those. Like putting glue dots on there would be a really good idea so they would stand out. But I didn't bring those over here, so we'll just do it like this, but kind of not push it all the way down. I need to position my happy birthday on there. And we're going to put the glue on the little happy birthday. And so there is what it looks like right now. Isn't that so cute? Oh my goodness, I really like it. And of course we need to take our stickles and we need to do a little something with that. And so I am just going to hit the butterfly wings just a little bit with this just to give it a little bit of shimmer. And I'm actually just going to use my finger to just kind of spread it around. I just want the butterfly to have a little bit of sparkle on their wings. And I'm going to take what I have left over and just kind of go over on that birthday, happy birthday too. And then I'm going to put some on these balloons. There's some dots on these little balloons, and so I'm going to put the stickles onto those balloons with the little dots. And then too, there's some little hearts. I'm going to fill those in. With that. Just that little bit of sparkle. We're going to put a little on her bow, on her hair. And then her dress has little bitty dots, and so we're going to hit those little dots with just a tad of that, just kind of randomly, just so she's all blinged and sparkled up. And there's what it looks like with the sparkle. It's so pretty. Oh my goodness. And so then I want to put some ribbon or yarn. This is some yarn that I have, and I just love it. It is just this multicolored, and it's just really fun. It has these little frizzies, and I really, really like to use this with my card and my tags. It's just super fun. So, and the colors on this match really well. And so I'm just going to cut some of that on there. And there will be our little trim for our tag. So how fun would that be? This could just be your card. Of course, you can put it on your package. You could put this on another piece of cardstock, and that be, you know, your card. I mean, so many things that you could do. All right, we're gonna make another one with the using this embossed one with the butterflies that I did. So I'm just using here, it's just a yellow piece of cardstock. I'm going to use that, and I'm going to be using this girl on this one. So what my plan is for this is I'm going to take this really pretty embossed piece that I have, and I'm going to glue it right in the center of my card, or almost in the center. And then we're going to overlay her on top of that. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. I like to do this because when you add layers to your cards, it just really helps, you know, kind of elevate it a little bit and give it something more than just, you know, putting something on a flat card. All right, and then we're going to take her and we're going to put some glue on the back. So if you kind of prep some of your stuff ahead of time and just have some supplies handy, it really can make your card making go really fast. Not that there's anything wrong with taking it slow, but if you're making a whole lot of them, then, you know, it just comes in handy. So I'm going to just, again, I want to angle her on here because I just like that. I think it's really cute. And so there's what she looks like. Oh my goodness. So cute. And then I have this happy birthday that we stamped a while ago. And like for this one, I think I'm going to leave it. I don't think I'm going to cut this one in half. I kind of like it. I am going to trim it down just a little bit more. And I'm going to hit it with the ink. I just love these colors all together. They're so just bright and cheery, and they're just so fun. So we're going to put some glue on the back of here. glue all over my hands. And that is what that one looks like so far. We're going to add some of these butterflies that we made to this one too. And so let's see what we have here. So you can see just from that, just from those few punches, we still have a lot of our paper left from cutting this. So you can see how just kind of when you play around, you're creating, you know, more, you'll have more supplies, more options for your projects that you can do. I'm just going to do the 2 on there. That looks really cute. And I'm going to do the same thing. I want to stamp these butterflies. I'm going to go around them a little bit. And then we're going to do the same thing. And like I said, if I would have remembered my little pop dot things that raise it up, that would have been really cute. But this will make it easier when it goes in the envelope. So I like to put, like on the inside, I like to either just handwrite a message or I may print some sentiments. I have a few stamps that do have like sentiments in there. Like this one is wishing you a beautiful birthday. So, you know, things like that you can use. Or you can just write it in, whatever you like to do. But there is that one. Isn't that so cute? I just love it. I just love, and I love that I, you know, was able to make like the papers and all of that. So we are going to add some stickles to this one too. Because again, I just think it helps to make it look sparkly for your birthdays. Gotta have sparkles on your birthday, no matter the age. So I'd love for you guys to share with me and tell me if you are a card maker. And like, what are some of the favorite things that you like to use when you are making your cards? You know, we all develop our own style. I'm going to put sparkly on this one on her shoes. When we make cards. I mean, you can, as I look back through all the different cards that I have made, you can tell. You can tell which ones I make. You can tell my style. And that will develop for you too. Because I kind of like the way that I do them, so the patterns are kind of repeated in most of the cards that I make. So there is this one, all blinged up with some sparkles, some stickles. And you could add some of this. I do that sometimes to cards. I could just kind of put them on the inside and tie them. I don't think I'm going to do that with this one, but I will show you just kind of as a demonstration. So you can add, you know, you can add it like kind of like so, like you would kind of if you were doing a book. Like I said, I really love this yarn. It is just super, super fun. Although it's hard to see how to make a bow with it. Oh. Because it's so many threads in there. It's hard to see which one it is. Well, you get the idea. So you could do that to it if you wanted to and have that hanging down. Like I said, I don't think I want to do that one on this one, but just some ideas. Just get in there and play. So here are the two things that we made using our paper that we created with our gelatos. And all of these really, really pretty butterflies that we cut out with our punch. So whatever punches, if you have circles or flowers or cupcakes or whatever you have, just try that with any papers that you've made with your gelatos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. And again, I would love to hear some of your favorite ways that you make cards. And as always, I appreciate you guys. Love and light to you all. And we'll see you again real soon.